Pixels are percentages that follow a color in the gradient function. For example, in this red-black gradient, transition from red to black takes place at the 90% point along the line, so red takes up most of the available space. In the linear gradient function, add a 75% color stop after the first red color argument. There we go. Now most of it is red, and you just have a little bit of transition later. Nifty. Now that you know the basics of how the linear gradient function and color stops work, use them to make the markers look more realistic. In the linear gradient function, set gradient direction to 180 degrees. There we go. And linear gradients with color markers and stuff is definitely a pretty cool thing to have access to and useful. I'm just not very good at it. And to set the color stop for red to 0%. I'm assuming that's this. Green to 50%. Blue to 100%. I don't really understand what this is doing or how it works, just that it makes the colors spread out a little more and look fancier, which is always nice. Now that the color stops are set, we'll apply different shades of red to each color argument. Shades on the top and bottom edges will be darker, while the one in the middle will be lighter. First color argument, update the RGB function so the value for red is 122, green is 74, and blue is 14. Now I'll modify the second color argument for pure green. 245, 62, 113. Definitely looking fancier, even if I don't really understand gradients at all. For our last modification, we want the red to be 162, not 152, dumb fingers. Green to be 27, and blue to also be 27. Red marker is looking much more realistic. Now you'll do the same for green. Change background color to background. Marker, use hex color codes for your gradient. Let's see. 180 degrees is what we want. And we're using a hex code this time. second color argument is also hex. 7, 1, F5, 3E. I know there's some ways you can just shorten these color codes, but we haven't been taught them yet. And for those, I always had to look up the conversions because of how much I did not understand hex codes. Bottom edge of the marker needs to be darker to add a little dimension. Let's see. We need to add one more hex color code for this. Eleven 6C 31 and there we are. They want to shout at me to give them money. My answer is the same as ever. But honestly, given how much content FreeCodeCamp gives me for free, the occasional ad where they ask me to donate money to them is a small price to pay. And at some point, I probably will actually give them money. Let's see. And now, color stops. Automatic calculation for color stops, etc., etc. So, remove the color stops and see what happens. There's the TLDR there. There. If no gradient direction argument is provided, the function arrange colors from top to bottom or along a 180-degree line by default. Clean up our code a little more by removing both of our gradient direction arguments, which it's kind of nice that they have a default behavior for that, and it doesn't just stop working because the direction isn't provided. That is handy. Now you'll apply a gradient, the blue marker, in the HSL function. So, background color can become... No, we don't want to just remove it all. That would make them shout at me. Background. Linear gradient, and we're skipping on a direction. Okay. Go. Now, second HSL, 223, 90%, 60%, and it looks like we do need the percentages. color argument, apparently. Here we go. 240. 56%. 42%. There. Now our markers all have their correct colors. It's time to build the marker sleeves. Start with the red marker. I don't know what that means, but I guess we're gonna find out. Get a new CSS rule with the sleeve. We'll give it a width of 110 pixels, a height of 25 pixels. Still don't know what the sleeve is, so go ahead and tell me. And background color should be white. Oh, we're covering up part of it for some reason or other. Not sure I understand why, but oh well. But I think that is where I will leave it for now. So, thank you all very much for watching. And we actually got a good deal further in this bit than I expected. 2/3 of the way through instead of just half. This one, there was a lot of stuff that reading the text was optional, so I could skip that a touch, which definitely helped, but also, I'm just starting to move along a bit faster now that we're further into this and they have to stop and explain less things in excruciating detail. In any event, I will see you next time when we'll be doing some stuff with opacity, apparently. If you've enjoyed this, then please give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you next time for more programming. See you then, folks. See you then. Bye for now.